Okay guys, well it's now another day working on the 69 GT. So you guys saw us last, I don't know what we were doing last, but anyways, we got the wipers on, got them all figured out. We actually had them on backwards. I don't know if I showed you guys that or not, but we had the system on, so whenever you turned it on, they would go down instead of going up. So we had to rotate it, and got that all figured out, got these painted up, made them look nice. Just need to paint this now, but it's looking pretty good there. And I think you guys, and then we did figure out the vibrations. We fixed it a little bit. We put, because the wheels have different weights on them. Two of them have center weights and two of them like outside weights. So we put the outside weights in the back and the center ones in the front, and that helped the vibrations a little bit, but not a whole lot. So the wheels are balanced though, so we don't know what's going on with that. So something's having a problem there, and the car kind of pulls to the left a little bit. So I don't know, weird things there. Another thing we just checked a little bit ago was the engine, because we knew this thing had some problems with the engine. We don't know how many miles are on the car, and so we wanted to see, because this engine had pretty low compression when we first got it. Before we even got it running, we checked it. It was like a 110, 90, I think, somewhere around there. But anyways, it's always ran goofy. It's never wanted to rev like, you know, Grandpa's Triumphs and MG. Even the engine, the Opel engine that we rebuilt, that one revs way better than this thing. This thing just doesn't want to rev, and it's super slow. I mean, yeah, it has automatic, but it should be a lot faster than what it is. And it has a Weber and an exhaust, so it should be better, but it doesn't like to rev. So anyways, decided to do a compression test, because I've been wanting to do one forever, and did it with the compression tester right here. And this is what we got going front to back. We got 135, 115, 90, and 120. And that's not that great. If it was 135 all the way across, then yeah, we'd be pretty happy. But considering that it jumps 45 PSI, that's not good. You want it to be relatively the same. So like the engine that's in the yellow Opel GT right now, you guys saw the Will It Start video on that. That one had about, I think it ranged from about 150 to 160. That isn't a big drop. And then the engine that's in the room now, before we took it apart, it was running about, I think, 145 to 155 or so. That's not that big of a jump. And that had, those engines were a lot more, those engines are both low compression engines. So we're like, well, this is a 1969, so therefore it should be the flat top piston, the high compression engine, compared to the other Opels, which are dome top, and they should be low compression engines, and they still make that much PSI. So yeah, so that happened. And I'm like, huh. So then I got to looking, I'm like, I wonder what year this engine is, because I'm guessing it's original engine. And I'd never really checked before to see what kind of cylinder head it had. And then I saw this. That right there, which if you're an Opel guy, you know what that means. 12 bolt head. The 10 bolt heads do not have this. There's an Allen screw here and an Allen screw on this side. And that adds the 2 extra bolts right there. On a 12 bolt, which this engine should have a 12 bolt head, they don't have that. It just has the regular old head bolts in here, not the 2 outside ones. So that means that this engine is a late 72 or later, or earlier, or no, yeah, late 72, or it's like a 72, 73. Those are probably my 2 guesses, unless it's like a Manta engine, but I'm guessing it's a 72 or 73 GT engine. So that's interesting. And then I stuck this little flashlight thingy and bob that Grandpa has down in the spark plug holes, and sure enough, it does have dome pistons, so it's not a high compression engine. So that's interesting as well. It looked pretty clean though when I saw it. So what our guesses might be is that the 12 bolt head, why you don't want a 12 bolt head is basically they crack super easy. Their materials are worse. Opel went cheaper, I think, on the materials in the later 70s, or in the earlier 70s compared to the late 60s, and they cracked easier or something. And which you guys know from the red Opel GT that we're putting a new engine in, that engine was junk. You guys have seen that engine. That's why we pulled it out, because the cylinder head was just gone. The engine was locked up because the cylinder head was leaking coolant. So we're like, well, these two have the lowest numbers, 115 and 90, and it's always cylinder 2 and 3 that are the problems. They have the most heat. And when you overheat one of these Opel engines, your cylinder head is gone. You cannot overheat them. You're done. That's your one chance. So what we're thinking maybe happened, because it's really hard to find a 12-bolt head that doesn't have a crack in it, which we were super lucky with the engines in the shop that we had a Magnaflux and it had no cracks in it at all. So we're thinking this thing has a tiny crack maybe between the two cylinders, and it's not a water passageway, and it's just not getting a good enough compression. So we might investigate it later on, but right now it still runs, so we're leaving it how it is. But the spark plugs look pretty good too. They don't look that bad, so they're like tan, so they're not horrible. We'll see what we do there. But so anyways, we're working on headlight repair rust right now, trying to get that done, because probably our goal is Springfield, the big show there, which you guys saw us go there last year, for us to have actual headlights. So that's our big goal, is to get that done. But anyways, what we're doing now, instead of working on the actual headlights, we're going to fix the rust around it so we can put the headlights in it. Like this one has two or three different rust holes. Like first I had one right here and one right here. When I started stabbing off the screwdriver, that hole became two holes. This hole became a hole, that became a hole, that became a hole, that became a hole. So we're just replacing the entire thing. And then we'll have to replace this. We're going to leave the outside hole because we do not feel like taking the bumper off. And then we have some rust down here, which we may not, I don't know if we want to bother with that or not. But, and then we have this to all mess with someday. But anyways, what we're doing here is I bent up this piece of metal, and it's just going to go over like that right there, and we're going to weld it. So I cleaned it up. We got the welder, we got Grandpa's extension cords, so we weld it. And then on the other side here, we have that big old rust hole there, and just that one. So this side's not as bad, but it is still going to be a pain in the butt, obviously. So it's more solid. But it might be because brake fluid maybe got in here. I don't know why it rusted out that bad. And then Grandpa is working on making these things work, so these things have an indent to them, but you guys can't see. It kind of goes out, and then it goes like it goes like a little. It goes down, comes out like this, and it goes straight down. So, which we know that the only reason we know that is because the yellow Opel GT doesn't have any rust here. So Grandpa is making an indent with this piece here, which has an indent as well. It mounts here and it goes down to this. So Grandpa's making the piece for that, so we can make that piece first, and then we'll cut it up and make this work. So that's our idea here. So we're getting stuff done finally on the headlights. It's been a while, but hopefully we'll be getting this done pretty soon here in the next couple weeks or so. That'd be sweet. And then oh, and I haven't showed you guys the headlights yet that we got for this thing. So we got the super cool eBay specials. We were going to go with original style headlights, obviously, the sealed beams, but as with my lawnmower has them too, and one just randomly burned out while we're running it. So with this thing, you guys, one of these just randomly burned out. So we are not going to run the original headlights, and they're dim anyway. So I found these on eBay for $45. I think it's like $49 with tax. They're LEDs. They have the cool driving lights and stuff, turn signals, and they have a little wiring harness. So what we're going to do, because it's for a Jeep or whatever, so it's like the modern right there, what we're going to do is we're going to plug this and splice this into the original wiring. That's our idea. So that's what we're hoping to do. And these mount right in. So they're the same size. They're a 7-inch or whatever. So pretty excited about those. They'll look super cool. So yeah, so I guess I'll get to work, and I'll show you guys probably what we're done once I start welding, and see how far Grandpa got, and we'll see what gets done today. We'll see you guys next time. Well, okay guys, it's been about 30 minutes or more later, probably more than that. Just got done welding it all up. Didn't go as planned. Just hoping to go a little better. Right there was it was probably my best welds there. That part was pretty solid. Burned one hole there. Then I tried to do the bottom. That was an absolute pain in the butt because the gap was too big. Then I burnt a huge hole there. Keep on burning holes. And I wasn't going slow, guys. I was zooming. I was trying to zoom, and I was just burning holes. Like I was going as fast as I could go, and it was just burning holes everywhere. So I couldn't do that much there. I didn't even try that because there's 2 rusters there. That would be super thin metal. So I wasn't even going to waste my time with that one. But it's pretty good. So it's nice and hot and solid. So it'll work. The welder did pretty good. So pretty happy with that. Looks better. So what we're gonna do now is get some of the super old sealant stuff from like 15 years ago. And basically what we did with the windshield wiper, which I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but we sealed that up. It's down in there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There's some sealant crap down there. You guys might be able to see it, but anyways, we're just gonna seal it up because, you know, water gets in here and we don't want it to rust out again. We want to go down to the hole where it's supposed to. So we're gonna put some sealant on it, and then eventually we'll paint it whenever we get this all done. So we'll see you guys when something interesting happens. Okay guys, we got a little bit more done. We caulked up this area right here, stop sealant, and then we also welded in this piece, which I don't think I showed you guys this, but we welded it in. I put a bunch of tacks because it was not working very well. The metal was just so rusty and had undercoating on the backside, so not the greatest. I put a few tacks up here, but I didn't want to go through the fender. But you guys can see it already burned some of the paint off there, so kind of interesting. Burn that, but yeah, that's all else we got done, and we're gonna eat dinner, and we'll be back some other day, and hopefully get some stuff started on that side, and maybe get this thing figured out. So we'll see you guys when that happens. Hey guys, we're back working on it, on the headlight stuff here. So, you guys saw this rust hole right there. I just made a patch for it just now. Made a cardboard template and made this little guy. Pretty simple to make. You really just do one bend in the vise. It's really easy, and it fits in there just like so. Fits pretty good. You can't really see it because of the light, but a little bit of gap. I'll be able to weld that up. I mean, it's not there for structural. It's there to keep the water out, so it doesn't have to be perfect. That'll be there. And then also we fixed the valve cover gasket because I put it on wrong on my side. I screwed it up the other day down here, so screwed that up, so I fixed that, re-RTB'd it and all that stuff. So that should be good now. Yeah, so we're working on starting up this thing. We have that little guy, that little rust hole right there to fix. We got these two fixed already over here, which you guys saw previously. And then I'm working on this one right here. We have none over here, that's not rusty. And then we have these pieces to put in there. So see how much we get done. It's already 210, which isn't bad. We'll see what we get done. And hopefully we get somewhere and get something done on this hot day. So I guess I'll turn you guys off, and we'll see what the weld looks like and what the product looks like. Okay guys, welding some more stuff. Got this side, adjusted this side, just welded in a little bit. Still the clamp on it, actually I need to take off. But this side didn't want to weld that great. It was just the metal wasn't as great. And we're getting low on gas. We're literally all the way maxed out on gas. We're gonna have to take a trip to this town to get some gas place. So we might have to go there, we'll see. Yeah, so we got that all done. Looks pretty good. It's better than what it was, obviously. And we are going to end up drilling holes so we can access it. So I'll show you guys later on when we do that. And then I got this side welded in. I don't think I showed you guys this yet. I got that little piece welded in. Maybe I did, I don't know. Got this little piece welded in. This one went really good, welded in really, really nice. I got a ton of welds on it up there. Got a few right here, burned a hole right there. But this piece went really good. I'm really proud of this piece. It went way better than, I had to weld up a few cracks right there's a crack that I made, so I had to weld that up. But yeah, so anyway, and all in all, it went really good. And then we're looking at our other pieces now. I got 3 fans on. I got one over there and 2 over here to get all the fumes away from the undercoating burning off in the back. All that undercoating is like black back there. And then Grandpa was working on this. We got the scooter for free, and the welds cracked. I think 2 or 3 of the welds cracked. So I'm gonna weld it up because it's gonna be perfect for welding. Because I've been kneeling on that, things have not been very comfortable. So I got a block of wood, and it's like perfect size. So I think that stand should work perfectly. So I just go back with you guys, and maybe we get something else figured out. Hey guys, we're back. We got some stuff done. We got everything welded in, as you guys saw. Caulked it all up, so you can't even tell that we put new metal in. So that's pretty sweet. You can't even tell, really. So I think our next step's may paint it. We'll see. Yeah, so we covered it up with a super old crappy door window sealer. So need to get some better stuff for that in the future when we work on the red car maybe. But I did also vacuum out the cleaner with the shop vac interior. Interior was pretty dirty. Also the blower motor works, which I tested out. That's cool. Yes, I shop vacuumed it all out and got quite a bit of dirt out, especially on the floor mats. I went out there and shook it out because there's a lot of junk in there because from us fixing when we did the windshield wipers here, we had to fix a rust hole down in here, and there's a bunch of rust down in there and a bunch of other rust elsewhere. So that's why these look all nice and fresh and painted. But yeah, so I guess maybe we'll paint the buckets next. We'll see. It's 5:40 or so. Maybe we'll paint the buckets. And here's the super old stuff that we're using. It is called ProFlex. It's from like, supposedly it's supposed to last for 50 years on the can, but we don't know that because it does not want to spread very good. But so I don't know, we'll see what we're gonna do here. Yeah, so we are basically out of welding gas, so that's cool. So I guess we might paint it next, and we'll see where we go from there, and hope. Alright guys, and we're back. I just masked it all up. Masked it up so we don't want any of the patina getting ruined. So also masked up that guy right there, the side marker light. Put over there, Grandpa's working on his side. Yeah, get the side marker light taped up. So this kind of reminds me, I don't know, it reminds you guys, if you guys know what I'm talking about, but the electric Opel GT. It reminds me of that so much because it doesn't have any nostrils. The electric Opel GT that Opel made as an experimental car had no nostrils, so it looks hilarious like that. But what we're going to be painting with is the Rust-Oleum. Just this stuff right here. Let's put some of this. Grandpa had it laying in the cabinet forever, so we're not going to use the professional brand or the better stuff. We're just going to use the regular old cheaper stuff. Grandpa has a whole bunch of, so I don't use the nice stuff. So that should work pretty good. So pretty excited what it's going to look like, and we'll show you guys then when it gets done. Alright guys, we're back. It's another day working on the 1969 Opel GT. So, as you guys saw, it's unmasked. It's alive. The paint looks absolutely amazing. I'm really proud of what we did. The caulk looks decent, but it's there. Well, you guys will never see it. It looks better, like it looks way better. It'll treat the rust, so nothing's going to show up. So that looks awesome. Can't wait for that. So now on the headlights, we got everything lined up here. We got our switches. Well, not really switches, our plates thingies. So we're figuring out how all these work, trying to figure out what the best way is, because if you guys remember a long time ago, this is probably it was like a year and a month ago, and we took these headlights out. It was a pain in the butt, taking out, I think, this nut right here, bolt. So we're trying to figure out if we want to just take that out or what we want to do yet. So that's our idea, but our next plan is probably to start cleaning these things up, because I kind of want to keep the purple on this thing, even though it's not, the rest of the car ain't purple. Like, these are the patina colors, but this car was all that purple metallic at one point, which is a really pretty color. It's not bad. And I'd like to keep the purple because the headlights are purple, the hood's purple, the tail pan is purple. I forget what else is purple. I think that's the main part of it. The hood's purple. So that's all purple. So I like to keep those touches. What I think it'd be cool is to make the accents in this car purple. Like maybe paint the badge purple, paint the badges purple, paint the center caps maybe purple, paint the the master cylinder cap purple, paint the valve cover like black with like purple accents. We'll see where we get there. I think the purple though would really be cool. Kind of bring back the history of this car being purple once upon a time. You know, it was truly silver. Original color was a silver color. But I think the purple though really kind of makes it pop, and it's kind of unique. So not many people do that. Oh, and the belly pan's purple too. The belly pan is all purple, so kind of unique. But so that's our idea. We're gonna wire brush this all up and probably treat it with some Osvo to stop the rust, and then get this mouse house. Because you guys remember that huge mouse house in here. So we're gonna probably take all that crap out. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. And then this other switch panel with the actual switches on it. So we also got this little nifty guy. So we're gonna get him all set up. I don't know what the walkie's doing there, but we're getting all our pliers stuff set up on there, so it'll make the bench table a little bit better. And you guys already saw the headlights that we have, so those are gonna look epic. So we'll figure out the wiring on that yet. We got my bench, that'll be sweet. And let me show you guys the rest of the headlights, which is way over here. We did this Geez, this is when we first took apart the headlights, I think. We painted these. Where did they go? Where did you go? They're somewhere over here. I thought. Oh wait, I think they're on the cart. Never mind. No? Oh, they're over here. I'm stupid. Stupid. This is all headlight parts right here. That's all headlight wiring. That's all headlight screws. And then the parts that we primered, but we didn't paint because we don't need to paint them, are these guys right here. So these have all the springs. These are the headlight adjuster doodads that sit in the bucket, and the headlights, the actual headlight part will sit on there, the bulb. And then we got the side marker lights off there. So yes, all that's there. And I guess we'll get to cleaning and hopefully get to installing this thing and see what it looks like to me. Alright guys, so we're back on the Opel. I kind of forgot to show you guys some stuff. So the other day we worked on this thing. I didn't really record anything. I might have started recording, but I can't remember. Anyways, we knocked out a little bit of wiring. We got a lot figured out, most of which I forgot to show you. So we decided to bypass the switches for the headlights, which are right here, the micro switches. So we just had to bypass them because I don't know, we couldn't figure it out while trying to temporarily test them. So we bypassed those guys. So we just I forget what you have to do exactly here. You connect two of the wires together. You leave the other two disconnected. You connect the other two guys like a little connector, like one of these things right here. So I forget which two though. So you have to do that. You have to guess. I forgot to show you guys that. And then what we did is to bypass everything, what we had to do up underneath here is move the yellow and black wire. So we had to disconnect the yellow or the white wire with the yellow stripe where it was. And then I think that's the, yes, you disconnect it here and there's a loop up there. So you disconnect that one. And then we made our own little switch here. And you put the yellow and black wire, or the yellow with a black stripe going into the switch. And we got it working. So, because we think the relay isn't right. We don't think the headlight relay was working. That's why we had to bypass it. And the high and low beams work. The light comes on the dash, so everything's working on this thing, which is awesome. This switch works, so that's amazing. We don't have to tear into the steering column, which would be a nightmare. So it's all working. We just got a little test light bulb. Got it figured out. And then we figured out on the actual headlights themselves that we're putting in this thing. So I'll leave a link down in the description for these. We figured out which ones are the high and low beam. I think blue is low beam and black is ground and white is high beam, if I remember correctly. And then the red is the driving lights, which is the white right here. And then green is the turn signals. Well, we're not gonna hook up the turn signals. All we're gonna hook up is the driving lights and, you know, the high beam, low beam. So what we're doing for the driving lights, how we're hooking those up, is this thing, how it works has a parking light feature. So the parking lights is the side markers and tail lights. So what we're gonna do, it's this switch right there. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're wiring the driving lights on the headlights, the halos. We're wiring those into the side marker lights. So how we're doing that is these are the side marker lights. We got this guy, we got an adapter like that, and then we're gonna run one wire to the red wire on there, and then the one wire is going to go back into this guy right here, which is a side marker light. So we just spliced it in. That's what we're going to be doing, and so we're going to do that on both sides. And then we're also going to be, and these are the high and low beam. I think yellow is low beam and white is high beam, I think, if I remember correctly. And then we need a ground yet. So for the ground, what we're honestly just going to do is just going to self-tap a screw down there, which I think Grandpa has it somewhere. Where are the grounds at, Grandpa? You know, those ground cables. We have them over here. Oh yeah, here's one. So we're just gonna do something like this. Here's one already made. So that's gonna be our ground. We're just gonna self-tap it to there. So it's gonna be pretty simple. But yeah, here's what you guys can see the side marker light looks like. So it's gonna be pretty cool, pretty simple. We hope to have it working pretty good. And we did test out the lights, and they're pretty sweet. We had an extra battery laying around over there, and we figured out which ones are brights and low beam, and the halos, they're all pretty sweet. So can't wait to get working on those. It's gonna be awesome. It looks super cool, and it'll be ready for Springfield. Maybe I can drive it to high school. So I have to school coming up this week or so. School starts in a couple days, so yippee for that. And also I had to buy a kit at O'Reilly's where I work, because Grandpa didn't have enough of the little red spades of these guys. That's why we stopped yesterday. Or the other day we stopped 2 or 3 days ago because we didn't have enough of these. So I bought a whole kit, and it was a pretty good price. I got a discount on it. And we got a couple other cool things too. I'm trying to know where they went. Oh, I also got crimpers because we didn't have crimpers that were the good ones. We had crappy old ones that my grandpa's had. He had these ones right here. So these things sucked. I mean, they work good, but they suck because you can't get them in a tight spot and they're stuck in there if you wire in something. So these will work amazing. Yeah, so that's pretty sweet. I guess, oh, and I also ordered up an exhaust for this thing, guys. So you guys will be seeing that video, well, probably a while, because I have a lot of videos in the making. So it might be a couple months for you to see that video, but I ordered a full 2-inch exhaust for it, a piping kit, and a muffler. So you guys will be excited to see that. Hopefully it sounds good, so that'd be sweet. So I guess we're gonna get to it, get working, and hopefully knock out these this wiring. All right, guys, so we got a lot of progress done. I didn't show you guys. So we got the headlight buckets in. It took a while. It's almost 35, 50, so it took quite a bit. But what you guys have to do to put them back in, if you guys want to put them back in, so we put the switch plates back in first. You tighten those up, and how we did it, we hacked off the bottom. So we honestly, all we have holding the switch plates in are the top 2 bolts, not the bottom bolt, because we didn't even want to do that. So we took it the easy way, and it seems to be pretty sturdy. So you guys really don't need the 3rd mounting bolt. So put that in there, and then what you have to do next is you take off these 3 8mm bolts right in here. You guys can see that 8mm bolt right there, those ones. Take out those guys, because or else the headlight bucket won't fit with those in there. At least it won't want to. Took those out, and I took out these 2 bolts, took out the little thing where the pin slides onto there. Took out all those, and then it will slide in there if you guys tilt the headlight bucket a certain way. If you tilt it like vertical, it'll go down into place. Then you tighten these up, and then you put in the 3 screws next. Then your wiring harness, whatever you want to do there. And then what did I do next? And then these little guys right here, these little 10mm. They're a pain in the butt. This one goes in there pretty easy, but then this one, man, it's hard. I had to get to Milwaukee, and I got a thing pushing on the end of it, and I had to get a magnet to fish the nut in there. It was a pain in the butt. But yeah, just try different things. I tried a magnet, I tried all kinds of stuff. So finally got that thing in there, that's good. Tightened it up with the Milwaukee. So got those in there, and then got that, tightened all, okay, so all that's done. And then putting the headlight adjuster, it clips into over these 2 things, has a spring on the bottom side there. And then you put your headlight in, whatever, if you guys are using the stock one. I'm obviously not using the stock headlight. Then you have the longer screws go in here. I realize that. And the short screws, there's 3 of them, and there's 4 long screws. 4 long screws go in this, and 3 short screws go hold down the headlight itself. So we got that all there. I got my side done before Grandpa. He's coming along, getting the clip on there now. So he's doing that, and hopefully by tonight we'll be done. Now I put on my ring, and also I'm gonna put my side marker lights, and my side should be complete. And we'll see you guys when the end result, I guess, is finished. Okay, guys, finally they're done. The headlights are finally in for the first time in a year and almost a year and a half. Well, not quite, a year and like 2 months, I'd say. So finally they're in. We finally got them all buttoned up. Got this side in, so that's great. We got the side marker lights in on both sides now. So those look great. The gap looks pretty good. It's not perfect. This is pretty close along here, but it's better than what this side. Yeah, this side's close, pretty close right here too, but it's good enough for what we're doing. So yes, it's all there. So, and the headlights work amazing. Like they're super. They actually lock into place. We had to adjust them a little bit, we had to mess them a little bit, but before when the headlights were in the car, they wouldn't adjust right. They wouldn't lock into place. They would jam really easily. So as you guys can see, they're just really, that's locked. I can do it with one finger. well, not quite opening it, but closing it, I can do it with one finger. So it's pretty cool. We'll show you guys the outside of it. There we go. Okay, you guys can see. You guys can tell it go pretty good. Let me show you guys the driving lights. These are the driving lights. That thing opens up. So those are the halos. That's why I got these. That's why I got them. Oh, looks so crazy. Man, they're so neat. What? Oh, I'll get it. Yeah. Man, those things are so neat. Another thing I want to do, guys, I want to replace these not fog lights, but the side marker lights with LEDs maybe sometime. Hoping I can find some of those at work. But man, they're so bright. They're a little hazy on the camera, but they look really nice and clear. They're so cool. But so yes, the parking lights. These side markers don't work sadly yet, but the brake lights are working. So that's cool. And then let me show you guys the headlight switch. Turn the headlights on. And I'm glad we did what we did because it's really cool with the headlights on as well. So let me show you guys that. Oh wait, I didn't turn the car on. There it is. I see a flicker ramp when the fuel pump went off. Because the battery's getting so low. But oh geez, you can't on the GoPro, it's just like nothing. You couldn't even see it. Yep, so there's the it's not a big difference, but the GoPro can't really pick it up. Actually, GoPro can pick it up pretty good right there. Right there is pretty good where the GoPro can pick it up. So those are the headlights. And the brights work too, so that's pretty sweet. So they work good. The light comes on the dash. You guys can see the light come on. And then they're a little brighter. You guys can see. So that's really cool as well. So, yep. Then if I turn off the parking lights, which is no tail lights, no side markers, nothing, just the headlights. That's just that. So pretty cool. Pretty happy with what we did. Looks pretty nice. So yeah, pretty happy with it all. Looks great. Next thing we're probably going to do to this thing is like to finish the gas tank sending unit gauge. We need to fix that. Maybe switch around the headlight or tail lights because these are in the wrong spot. These are supposed to be on the outside. For turn signals. We need to do exhaust to it. We also need to fix the rocker panels because they're pretty bad. Maybe a few other things here and there. I like to fix the lighting in the dashboard too. It's not that great. They don't really work. We'll go from there, I guess. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of us doing the headlights. And hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next time on something else cool to work on. But so yeah, so finally it's headlights, which is pretty sweet. So now it's basically ready to drive in the dark. So we'll see you guys next time for another Opel video.